What's up, everybody? First round of the NFL Draft is in the books, and coming up on Four Verts, we will do a quick reaction to all 32 picks. Then I got my 5 big takeaways from night 1 of the NFL Draft. Let's fly through it here. No surprise off the top. Cam Ward to the Titans. We knew that. But it didn't take long to get interesting. And about an hour before the draft, reports started flying that the Browns were heavily shopping the number 2 pick. Jags trade up, give up a future first, go get Travis Hunter at number 2 overall. Abdul Carter to the Giants at 3, Will Campbell to the Patriots at 4. Those were chalk picks. And then the Browns, after trading down, took Mason Graham. A report came out that they viewed Graham, Carter, and Travis Hunter in a similar tier, and they thought getting the future first and move down and still get Graham was good value. I don't necessarily disagree. I think it was a pretty good trade for Cleveland. Okay, Ashton, Jeanty to the Raiders at 6. I think once the Jags traded up, that opened the door for Jeanty to fall to Vegas. Armand Membou to the Jets. There's been a lot of buzz there for weeks. Tetairoa McMillan, people thought he could fall. He didn't. He goes 8 to Carolina. Kelvin Banks Jr., who was a fast riser, at least publicly late in the process. He went to the Saints, the O-line out of Texas. And then we'll talk a little bit more about this, but the Bears go Colston, Loveland over Tyler Warren at number 10 overall. More on that coming up. Mykel Williams to the 49ers, one of the best edge rushers in this draft. Tyler Booker, Dallas goes guard to help replace Zach Martin, who recently retired. Kenneth Grant, another defensive tackle off the board to the Dolphins. Thought they might go corner. They didn't. Tyler Warren ends up going to the Colts. They were always going to take Loveland or Warren. Warren was the one available. Jalon Walker went to the Falcons at 15, got a lot of top 10 buzz, ended up sliding to 15. Walter Nolen went to the Cardinals at 16, like that fit for Arizona. Shemar Stewart, one of the most polarizing players in this draft. He goes to Cincinnati. Could that mean Trey Hendrickson's on the move? We'll see. Gray Zabel, love this pick. Center guard flex. Seahawks need interior offensive line help. He provides that. Emeka Egbuka, interesting pick here. They've got Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Egbuka, Jalen McMillan. That's a lot of receivers, a lot of mouths to feed. We'll see who the odd man out is there in Tampa. Broncos, we thought maybe Omarion Hampton, but I think they went pure BPA here. Jahdae Barron out of Texas. Okay, Derek Harmon to the Steelers, so no Shador Sanders to Pittsburgh. No Shador at all in round 1. We'll talk about that. Omarion Hampton to the Chargers at 22. Thought maybe this would be a spot for Will Johnson. He also has not been selected. Matthew Golden, the wide receiver out of Texas. He goes to Green Bay. He was at the draft, so that was a pretty cool kind of, I got 200,000 people here and I got drafted. That's pretty sweet. Donovan Jackson went to the Vikings, the guard tackle hybrid, and the Texans at 25 probably would have taken him. They did not. Giants come calling. They end up drafting Jackson Dart, not Shador Sanders. More on that in a little bit as Joe Shane and Brian Dable get their quarterback. And then just a wild trade. I mean, we'll dive into it more, but Atlanta trades up for James Pierce Jr. Malachi Starks goes to the Ravens at 27. Love that fit next to Kyle Hamilton. Bit of a surprise, but a player I like. Tyleik Williams, one of the best run-stuffing players in this draft, goes to Detroit at 28. Josh Connerly Jr. as a couple of tackles down the stretch go. He went to Washington. Bills get a corner. They needed one. Maxwell Hairston. Of course, Jihaad Campbell slides. Who takes advantage? Howie Roseman and the Eagles. Them and the Chiefs swapped picks, and Josh Simmons ended up going to Kansas City. Okay, we're trying to get to 10,000 subscribers as soon as possible. Hit that sub button, turn on notifications. More draft coverage will react after day 2, day 3 as well. I'll tell you what, I'll make you a deal. If we get 100 new subs on this video, I'll do a day 2 mock draft on the channel tomorrow before the draft gets going. So hit that subscribe button. Okay, my top takeaways. The Jags make a splash for Travis Hunter. Their new GM coming over from the Les Snead Rams regime. He said, I was a part of the F them picks mentality. Said it tonight. Well, that's what they did, right? You trade a future 1 to go get him to Cleveland, a 2 and a 4 this year as well. You get a 4th and a 6th back. It's a bold move. First-year GM, first-year head coach. You go get, I don't know, the most dynamic player in the draft. He could play receiver. He could play corner. I respect it, but it's a bold move to come out like that, right? Like it's one of those where the way Gladstone's talking, he's either the next big thing in this league or he's going to be looking for a new job in 3 years. I don't know which way it'll go, but what do you guys think? Who do you guys think won the trade? I would actually give the Browns the edge right now. I love Travis Hunter. I like him more than Mason Graham. But for Cleveland to still get the third or fourth best player in this draft and a future one, like, that's loading up you for Cleveland. You're playing for the future, and you kind of have to with that Deshaun Watson contract situation. So I would type my B for Browns. Okay, the Bears tight end decision. They go Colston Loveland over Tyler Warren. I would have taken Tyler Warren. Now, I really like both. Loveland is 2 years younger. He's 21, and Warren's almost 23. Just turned 21, too, earlier in April. He's already a very polished receiving tight end. I think there's room to grow as a blocker. This is a pick-your-flavor thing. Some people, if you look at Colston Loveland, the comp he had been getting is Travis Kelce. The comp Tyler Warren had been getting is Gronk. Obviously, those are the extreme comps, right? But people viewed this crop as a pick your flavor. I had Warren higher, but they clearly like Loveland more. His ceiling is higher. He's a more fluid tight end as a mover. Again, I think he's got the frame to improve as a blocker. He's almost 6'6", 250. So I think he can add a little meat on that bone and become a better blocker, but gives them a weapon in the passing game immediately. We found out after that pick that Ben Johnson told Colston Loveland he views him as a Sam Laporta type, and Laporta's obviously been very successful in Detroit, so look for the Bears to use him in that way. Okay, Dart over Shedeur. The Giants go Jackson Dart over Shedeur Sanders. They trade back into round one with the Houston Texans. Again, I think Houston would have taken Donovan Jackson here, but he went a pick earlier, so 34, 99, and a third next year. I mean, if you're Houston, I think you're doing pretty well. They now have 2 2s, 2 3s, and 2 4s next year. So Texans loading up on draft picks next year. Giants move up 9 slots, 2/3 to move up 9 slots. That's a pretty penny in this draft. They get Jackson Dart, the only other quarterback to go tonight, along with Cam Ward. We'll see. I think he's got an above-average arm, albeit not a great arm. He's tough as hell. I think that's his best redeeming quality. He's a good runner. He's tough. He's a leader. I think that's why they took him over Shedeur. I think they liked the intangibles with Dart more than they did with Shedeur. There's been chatter that Shedeur did not interview with certain teams well. Giants spent a lot of time on Sanders, so the fact they took Dart, they're kind of telling you they like the vibe that Dart gave him more than Sanders. Because to me, from a prospect standpoint, just purely playing the position, it's pretty similar. I would even probably lean Shedeur slightly. So they're kind of telling you, like, yeah, we like what Dart brings more, both as a player and as a leader. So they get him. Russell Wilson's the starter, but we'll see how long that lasts. Okay, I'm just going to say it. What the fuck, Atlanta? I got to be honest. This might be the worst trade during the draft in recent memory. They trade up to 26. That is the 7th to last pick in the first round of a draft. Remember that most teams had like 12 or 13 round one grades. Okay? We're at pick 26. Sure, they get a third as well, but you trade a future one to move up into the first round when you're almost at the end of the first round. I mean, I get it. They clearly love James Pierce Jr. That's who they took with this pick. But he's a guy who came in with red flags, character concerns. There was reports that Tennessee coaches couldn't wait for him to get off campus. Like, he better be an all-pro. Like, if he's not a supreme pass rusher, and look, I like what they did just in theory, doubling down at edge. You should not have had to give up a future one. If it was a 2026-2, I could get it. But we were told throughout the draft process, this is a buyer's market. You shouldn't have to spend that much to move up. This is a massive overpay, man. If I'm the Rams, I am popping champagne tonight. Like, it was reported they wanted out of the first round. So, if anything, that should lower the value of that pick. Not to Atlanta. Not to Atlanta. Wow. I mean, that is a bold move, Cotton. And then, of course, Howie Roseman gets, top 17 player in this draft at 31. Moves up one slot. Gives the Chiefs a 5th for Jihaad Campbell. I mean, I know he's coming off an injury, but best off-ball linebacker, can blitz as a 3-4 edge rusher with Vic Fangio, which he runs. I mean, that's just classic. Like, there are certain teams that just guys fall into their laps. Like the Ravens, of course Malachi Starks falls to 27. Of course Jihaad Campbell falls to 31. It was also reported they tried to trade up to 23 for Campbell. He didn't even go. 31 still available. Amazing. Great pick for the Eagles. Zach Bond, that's an explosive linebacker duo right there. All right, what was your favorite pick of the night? Let me know down in the comment section down below. Favorite pick, favorite trade, whatever. And we'll be back tomorrow. If we get 100 new subs in this video, we'll do a day 2 mock draft. If not, we will see you guys tomorrow night at the end of day 2. My name is Harrison Graham. Hit that subscribe button. Peace.